Once we set up the database and run the migrate command for the first time, you've seen there are a bunch of migrations being applied to the database. Now in this lesson, we will create our own database structure by using models.py file inside our application, as well as we will create our own migration and migrate them to our database. So the first thing we will do here is create a class. A class is basically the table name. We are creating a task management system, so let's name our table task. Each table can contain one or more columns. So here we will add our first column. So the first thing we have done here is we have created a column called text, which will be a character field, that means worker equivalent to MySQL, and the maximum supported length will be 200 characters. And one other column we will add to our table is whether the task is completed or not. We will check that by using a column is completed. And that will be a boolean field where we will set the default value to 0. Now save it. The field types of models is not limited to char or boolean only. You can find a number of. Our models file is ready. In order to proceed with the migrations, we first register it inside our settings.py file. Go to the top, and inside the installed apps array, we need to place our app config file. So here we have added app1.apps.app1config. We are referring to this file, apps.py class app1config. So we have added our application config path inside the installed apps. Now we are ready to create the migrations. It's a two-step process. The first thing we will do is create the migrations. Python manage.py make migrations space the application name. And here it has created the migration file . When we execute the make migrations command, Django automatically creates a migration file inside the migrations folder. That file generally contains the structure to execute a database transaction and create a table by using that Python code. So in this way, you don't have to know about SQL queries. Django will automatically create the table for you by using Django models and with the help of migrations. Once it is done, we are ready to migrate it into our database. It's done. Here you can see the result is okay. Now let's go to our MySQL workbench and see whether this table is inserted or not. Let's rerun our show tables command. And here it is. You can see app1_task. So it has created the table task for us. Now let's select the table. Here you can see three fields: ID, text, and is completed. Text is of type barcode and is completed is a Boolean field. And ID is the primary key of this table, which is auto increment and unsigned. This is automatically added to each of our models. So this is how the migrations work with Django.